Alright, welcome back to our Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play. We left off last time. Yagiri was trying to petition the Syndicate and the Sultanate to let them into the city, and obviously that didn't go so well. Obviously, we gotta get our wave in. And we are going to continue on. If I remember right, we finished all the required side quests, the 24-mans, also pretty sure we finished the 24-mans. Yeah, they all have check marks, so yeah, we have done them. And we have done all the primals up to Mugamog. Okay, so yeah, all we have left is to continue on with the story. There are no more required side quests for the rest of the game. Actually, that's a lie. There will be some way later, but it goes into the overarching story as to where these were just to unlock harder versions of the fights. We'll get to that when we get to that. But alright, so Raban wants to talk to us, and we will talk to him and continue on with the story. So let's see what he has to say. I think I need this ring also. Nope. Yes, I do need this ring. Okay. As you observed, Lolorito is not afraid to speak his mind, nor is he like to change it. Oft have I wondered how a man so skilled at weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. But I will not waste more words on him, not when the Domans are yet in need of aid. Everyone, follow me to the Hall of Flames. So we're going to the Hall of Flames. Yeah, the Aetheryte is the closest one. I should say the big Aetheryte. The Syndicate has spoken, and I see no point in moving that the matter be reconsidered. The Monetarists have made their position clear. Agreed, Ul'dah is not an option. Nor are Limsa, Lominsa, or Gridania, I judge, given the state of their internal affairs, which leaves our Doman friends confined to a ship. Gods, the thought of them huddled in an airless hold with no hope of better treatment. Would that I had more time to find an alternative, a place not bound by the concerns of the great nations. Wait, we have a place that's not bound by the concerns of the great nations, Alphanod. Yeah, Menphilia, yep, exactly. Like, we just moved our headquarters to a place that's not bound by the great nations. That is precisely what I wish to discuss. I understand the Syndicate's decision, I do. We all wish to preserve that which is ours, especially when we believe it to be under siege. But I cannot meekly accept this judgment, not while my people suffer. Would it be out of the question for the Sultanate to accept us for a limited time? A week, mayhap, or even just a few days? Excellent, I shall keep you informed. So what's the decision? Lady Yagiri, I have a proposal if you would hear it. Out with it, Master Alphanod. I love Raban. His character's great. The headquarters of my order, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, stands in a place called Revenant's Toll, an outpost in Mordona. Like most outposts, it is frequented by mercenaries and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of more well-established settlements. However, the leaders of Revenant's Toll have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, they have need of able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands. Hard labor, lest you doubt, with naught save food and shelter by way of reward. Terms not unlike those which you yourself proposed, Lady Yagiri. Though I will not hear a word said against our beloved Ul'dah, Revenant's Toll would offer certain advantages, the absence of unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. If they can accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Master Alphanon, once again I find myself in your debt. Pray do not thank me, my lady. The life your people go to is one of hard labor and few comforts, as I told you. And before that, there remains the matter of how they may safely be borne to Revenant's Toll, which will be no small feat, considering the distance and their present condition. Mayhap the Ul'Dan Adventurers Guild can be of assistance. Look for me there anon. So we're gonna go talk to Momodi. Lady Yagiri, if you and your people would accompany me, we may discuss what aid the Immortal Flames can provide. The bards are playing their instruments. We are concerned that the Doman refugees may find the journey to Revenant's Toll too much to bear. Too long have they been sequestered aboard their ship with insufficient supplies and scarce room enough to breathe, let alone stretch their limbs. With that in mind, Mistress Momodi has kindly offered to accommodate the Domans until such time as they are ready to set out for Merdona. Those healthy enough to travel will embark as soon as transportation has been secured, while those too weak to leave at once will be permitted to stay until they regain their strength. What news? Transportation remains our greatest obstacle, General. Is there aught the Immortal Flames can do? I fear that exceeds our mandate. Were it a smaller number, mayhap it would go unnoticed, but the Syndicate will not bear the cost of escorting more than 200 Domans to Mordona. When government fails to act, the responsibility falls to us private citizens. Oh, Teleji. I will engage the services of the 77 caravans on the Doman's behalf. Very well, we should begin contract negotiations at once. Your generosity is most welcome, my lord. After all that has befallen these good people, it is the least I can do. Come what may, you shall ever have a friend in Ul'Dah, Lady Yagiri. And you in Revenant's Toll, my lord. Yeah, remember, he's a part of the Syndicate. He's only looking for profit. Well, it sounds like we all have work to do. Lady Yagiri, let's put our heads together and settle the details of our arrangement, shall we? I would entrust the task of escorting our Doman friends to you after you have rested your own road-weary legs, of course. What say you? I mean, I need to go back there either way. Yagiri's game. I think I remember this quest. As we speak, the Domans prepare for departure at Vesper Bay, wherefrom they will be transported by carriage to Ul'Dah. That said, this has all been decided rather suddenly, and it would not surprise me if the refugees required some assistance in coordinating their preparations. Hulk, I would have you return to Vesper Bay and facilitate the process through tasks great and small. In short, whatever must needs be done, do it. Speak with a man named Hozan when you arrive. As Lady Yagiri tells it, he has been designated the leader of the first group. Oh, we have tickets for Vesper. Actually, we still have 14 of them. Hozan, where are you? There you are. Greetings. Alphanot informed me that a scion would be arriving to help with preparations. I am honored to meet you, though shamed as well. A great warrior should not be tasked with such trivialities. I knew from a glance what manner of man you were. I too have some skill at arms, as do many of our people. Pray forgive this trifle, but might I trouble you to help round up the children that have been given into my care? They are most adept at staying hidden from my sight, but perhaps your keen eyes will succeed where I have failed. You have my thanks, friend. Pray seek out my son, Yozan. He can tell you more. Oh yeah, the kids are playing hide and seek. Oh, hello there. I'm Yozan, son of Hozan. Will you be coming with us to Ul'dah? I hear we're traveling by horse-bird-drawn carriage. But don't you think they're queer? Giant birds that people ride like horses? I still want to try riding one, but... What's that? You're looking for the others. Don't worry, I already told them to get ready for the carriages. I'll need your help, though. We were just finishing a game of hide and seek. 3 players are still in hiding, and since Lady Yagiri told us to take it really seriously, they won't move until they're found. But Vesper Bay isn't that big, so I bet you can find them in no time. Yeah, so this actually used to be tougher back in the day. Now you can fly, and it makes it a lot easier to see them all. Hey, you're not Yozan. Who are you? I'm Koharu. I didn't know anyone else was. Wait a minute. You're one of those, stallions, aren't you? No, scions. Then you must know Lady Yagiri, right? Isn't she great? She's really good at hide and seek, too. Alright, it's almost time to go. Nice meeting you. Yeah, so like I said, before, you couldn't turn your camera to see a lot of these. Especially that one in the back corner there. How'd you find me? Bah, guess I need to practice more. Or maybe you're just good at this. I mean, the Garleans didn't find me. Are you playing? Ah, no fair. Yozan didn't say anything about adults. Huh? We get to ride a horsebird carriage. I don't know. It sounds scary, but if Yozan says it's safe, I'll go. Wonderful. All the children are accounted. Hide and seek? Ah, I see that you are curious. It is quite simple, really. Lady Yagiri thought it best that the children know what to do in case the Garleans found us. I should hope that those days are behind us, but I nevertheless take comfort in knowing that we are prepared. Why we adventure? The first caravan is due to depart shortly, followed by the rest at regular intervals. My family and I, including my stubborn old father, Home, will be traveling in the lead carriage together with young Koharu, whom I believe you've already met. Though I understand the road to Ul'dah is regularly patrolled by your brass blades, it would give us great comfort if you would agree to accompany us on our journey. Once again, I thank you for your kindness. When you are ready to leave, please inform our coachman. So now I got a bodyguard for it all also? Eager to be off, are you? Ah, well, I was meaning to have a word with you about that. Runner from the Blade says we might have a problem. A fierce-looking beastie's been sighted south of the bridge to Hammerlea. Might be as someone's eyes are playing tricks on him, of course, but it don't pay to gamble in this business. Now, I know you can handle yourself in a fight, but this, lads, here's another story. So I was thinking you might go on ahead and have a quick look around, make sure the area is safe-like, and if you come across anything dangerous, you know what to do. When you're satisfied the way's clear, meet us outside Horizon. The Blades tell me the road there's safe, so I reckon we can make it that far on our own. Assuming the self-same bastards don't try to rob us, that is. So we're gonna go patrol for dangerous beasts. we have our other mount too now. Our Magitech Reaper that we could use to fly around also. Oh, I gotta get my chocobo out. And he did level up. Increase companion critical hit. Yep, we'll take that. He gets a stun next level. So there was a beastie. Was being the operative word, eh? Well fought, sir. Well fought. Ah, if only I were in better health, I should have been proud to stand at your side. Pay my son no mind. He forgets that his responsibilities prelude acts of daring do. Be that as it may, I cannot help but envy you. Had we been able to call upon heroes of your strength and skill in Doma, things would have been very different. But we cannot change the past. Those who fought and fell are forever lost to us. Lost but not forgotten. Lady Yagiri's kinsmen least of all. They fought fiercest, though they knew full well it was in vain. She had every right to walk away, yet she chose to stay. Food, shelter, the promise of a better life, all this and more we owe to her. How does one even begin to repay such a debt? In kind, Father. To she who has given everything, we shall give our all. Whatever work there is to be done, we shall do without question. Ditch digging, bricklaying, it matters not. Revenant's Toll will grow and prosper by our hands. They just knocked that dude over. Hey, Mr. Hulk, Kaharu and I want to know why you became an adventurer. Power, of course. I think that's what we said in the beginning, too. Not that that really matters. I knew it, that's what I told Kaharu, but she didn't believe me. It's my turn now. Excuse me, Mr. Hulk, I've got a question. What's Revenant's Toll like? Is it pretty? So there are lots of rocks and things. It sounds a bit scary, but you'll be there too, won't you? Enough, Kaharu. It's my turn again. Mr. Hulk, when I'm older, I want to be strong like you. What do I have to do? Train every day. Aha, so my father was right. How do you do it then? Come on, tell me. And don't leave anything out. Alright, that's enough questions for Mr. Hulk. That's not fair. Why does Yozan get to ask 2 questions? I want to know about adventuring just as much as he does. Just one more, please. Do you think I could be an adventurer like you one day? Really? Then I will. Thanks for the advice, Mr. Hulk. I won't forget it. I'm going to be an adventurer too. When we get to Revenant's Toll, let's make an adventurers guild for Domans. We'll protect our friends and punish the wicked, just like Mr. Hulk and Lady Yagiri. Yeah, just like Mr. Hulk and Lady Yagiri. We can talk more about it in the carriage on the way. Will you be joining us? Actually, if you chose a class that starts in Ul'dah from the very beginning, you actually ride in on a chocobo carriage like that instead of a ship like we did. I'm not sure what the Gridania one is. I've done it, I just don't remember what it is. Speak with Alphinaud at the Quicksand. Okay, that's the Adventurers Guild. So we gotta go back in Ul'dah, go to the Adventurers Guild. You know, I just realized that was supposed to be the first caravan of people strong enough, and there was only the 2 adults and 2 children. Yep, somebody's got the Diablos wings. Oh, Hulk, I take it the first group has arrived. Excellent. Is there aught else? No. I have matters well in hand here. You and Lady Yagiri should travel to Revenant's Toll forthwith. Do I need this? Yes. All due respect. It is past time Lady Yagiri met with the guild representatives in Revenant's Toll. Since I do not foresee any further matters arising here in Thanalan which might require your personal attention, I would instead have you serve as an escort to the Doman delegation for the duration of the journey. Speak first with Slafborn upon your arrival. He is the one with whom the Domans will be working most closely, I should think. Afterwards, introduce Lady Yagiri to Menphilia and the guild emissary. If both meetings go well, the resulting ties should stand the Domans in good stead for that which is to come. Safe travels. Okay, so we'll go to Revenant's Toll and talk to Slafborn. Can't forget to put on my gear too. So let's just do that now. Demon gauntlets. Where'd those come from? Oh, I got those out of the 24 man. We need to repair too. And this must be the esteemed Lady Yagiri and her associates. I greet you all as friends and bid you welcome to the Toll. I hope you do not find our dearth of fineries off-putting. Poor though we may seem, we have a wealth of spirit and camaraderie to spare. You see, race and creed don't enter into it here. We welcome all sorts, provided they are willing to earn their keep, of course. We are no strangers to hard work, Master Slafborn. You may rest assured that we will carry out your orders with due diligence. Oh, not for a moment did I doubt your commitment, my lady. Pray understand, I give the same speech to all new arrivals, and you needn't bow your head or call me master either. We are both frontier hands as far as I'm concerned. As you wish, Slafborn. May this meeting mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. Our guests have yet to meet the antecedent. 7 hells, Hulk, why are you wasting time with me? See them to the rising stones. To whom much is given, much is expected. Forgive me, I require a moment to compose my thoughts before meeting you with your leader. We shall join you at the Rising Stones anon. Flahaman. Yeah, Hoary Boulder is in here. "'Tis no use." Who are you talking to, Menphilia? Our attempts to reach the students of Baldessian continue to meet with failure. Urianger has explored other avenues of inquiry, but they too have yielded naught. We will persevere, of course, yet within our hearts the truth is clear. We are but awaiting confirmation of that which we already know. How fare the Domans? I am given to understand you were kept quite busy in Vesper Bay. Mayhap you question the wisdom of aiding refugees when the primal threat remains unresolved. I should not blame you if you did, nor would I deny that this matter falls outside our normal purview. Be that as it may, I could not ignore the plight of these refugees, not when it was within our power to help them. Lady Yagiri is here. Please show her in. I should very much like to meet her. We have no objections. Pray do so with our blessing. Your answer pleases me beyond words, my lady, but are you quite certain? We have no way of knowing how many might answer my summons. In the event that Revenant's toll could not accommodate us all, we would need to find an alternative solution. Should that come to pass, we will find it together. As ever, it has been a pleasure, Antecedent. Alas, we must take our leave, as the first carriages are due to arrive at any moment. Should you require aught else, pray speak with Slaffborn. Lady Yagiri, halt. So I guess the meeting went well, since we didn't see most of it. Laman and I will make all the necessary preparations to ensure that our Doman friends feel at home upon their arrival, though I must admit that I am still troubled about the matter of the missing crystals. Your Stola should be returning anon with a report from a field. Mayhap you could wait here and speak with her upon her arrival.
How goes the fishing? Caught anything slippery?
Aye. Our suspicions were well founded. The Serpent Reavers are indeed the culprits.
The plot thickens.
Has there been any movement in Thanalan?
It has been blessedly quiet, which is to say the Amalja are being no more or less of a nuisance than usual, summoning Ifrit with such crystals as they have hoarded. Urianger, too, reports not out of the ordinary.
Then we have our explanation.
Your explanation for what, pray tell?
For the recent spate of crystal thefts in Thanalan, we naturally assumed that the trail would lead us back to the Amalja. Yet it did not. It led us across the sea unto Vilbrand.
Vilbrand? There have been reports of increased Sahagin activity of late. Oh gods, they mean to summon Leviathan?
That is the way of it, I fear. Whilst conducting our investigation on behalf of the mineral concern, we came upon evidence implicating the Serpent Reavers. With the aid of the Maelstrom, I was able to verify our suspicions. 'Tis only a matter of time before Leviathan returns to harrow the seas. But there is more. One of the Sahagin, an elder by my judgment, spoke of attaining the gift and knowledge of eternity.
Ugh.
Such a disturbance in the ether. If I did not know better, I should think this device defective. And there is the explanation.
Soon it shall begin. Our Lord shall rise midst surging waves to wash away the finless ones. And I shall be granted the gift and knowledge of eternity, and with the emissary stand equal. Then shall I know no cessation, no oblivion.
Whence comes this promise of immortality? The emissary? We have outstayed our welcome.
The gift and knowledge.
Are the two of you quite well?
You shared that vision, did you not? Even before the Sahagin made mention of the emissary, I recognized Elidibus's words. He is behind this. But surely it is not within his power to grant the echo.
My lady, unless we act swiftly, Leviathan will rise again. The Admiral has already requested that we intervene to prevent this. Failing that, we are to attend to the Primal's extermination.
She will have our full cooperation. Let us make haste to Limsa Lominsa. I mean to play a part in this mission. Tataru, pray, take charge in my absence.
My lady, are you sure this is wise?
I am aware of the risks, but there is something I must see with mine own eyes. The true nature of the echo.
Very well. I shall not stand in your way. On the condition that you permit me to accompany you as bodyguard.
Your company is ever welcome, Thancred.
I take it something ill is afoot.
Aye, a Primal is about to be loosed upon Eorzea.
A primal?
A godlike being whose very existence is a bane upon the land. We Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to put an end to their kind.
I see. Know then that I am learned in the arts of war. In return for the kindness you have shown my people, I would lend you my blade.
It would be most welcome. When contending with a Primal, one can never have too many able allies. If you crave a more intimate understanding of the problems facing Eorzea, this experience is like to provide it. Be sure to come well prepared.
Litibus is getting the Sahagin to raise Leviathan. Yeah, we don't need either one of those. Plainly, should the worst come to pass and Leviathan is summoned, our only recourse will be to face him in battle. Given past experience, you may very well think that eventuality inevitable. Yet so long as there is even a chance that the Primal's return might be prevented, we must needs bend all our efforts towards achieving that goal. Before we do aught else, let us hasten to Limsa Lominsa and meet with the Admiral. She will not have been idle in the intervening time, and will doubtless have valuable information to share. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, just to go see what Limsa has to offer. We gotta go to the command room. Oh man. Welcome, friends. I take it Y'shtola has apprised you of the situation. Let us waste no time then. According to our best intelligence, the Sahagin had not crystals enough to summon their god. Alas, we did not count on the Serpent Reavers venturing as far as Thanalan to supplement their cache. For our short-sightedness, we are faced with the grim prospect of Leviathan's imminent return. Needless to say, I am not inclined to let the fishbacks have their way. Even as we speak, the Maelstrom makes ready to launch a large-scale operation to thwart the summoning, and we would welcome the Scion's support in this endeavor. But if, gods forbid, our efforts should come to naught, I will need to trouble you for more than mere support, much as I did when Titan last walked these lands. Lady Minfilia, I am given to understand that you mean to accompany our soldiers to the front lines. I can only assume that you have sound reasons for doing so. I do, Admiral, but I would rather not be drawn on their nature. I will say only there is something I would see with my own eyes. Is that so? Well, I am not so stubborn as to deny the wish of one whose aid I require, but precautions must be taken. I shall require that you remain by my side at all times. With that settled, let us speak of the operation. Hulk, Maelstrom scouts are currently reconnoitering Sahagin movements within the Sapsa spawning grounds. Upon completing their mission, they will return to the operation's staging point at Camp Skull Valley. I want you to make your way there forthwith, that you might be apprised of the latest intelligence. Commander Falkbreda has charge of the garrison. Alright, yeah, we actually haven't been into... Oh, we can teleport. It is Aleport. We've walked by the garrison, but we haven't actually gone inside of it. Not that it's big or anything, we just... And actually, this time we will fly there. It's actually that building right in front of us. We fought some monsters up this coast a little bit, but we never actually went inside here. I've been expecting you, Scion of the Seventh Dawn. On behalf of the men and women here, I thank you for your cooperation. The safety of our citizens is paramount. With your aid, we will prevent Leviathan's return. We'll take the money. Just giving me all the accessories, huh? As you may already know, Maelstrom scouts have been dispatched to reconnoiter the Sapsa spawning grounds. Though it pains me to admit it, the Maelstrom has never faced a foe the likes of this before. We must proceed with all due caution. Among other things, they have orders to determine where Leviathan might emerge, assuming it comes to that. And yet their return is long overdue. I fear that ill may have befallen them. For better or worse, we must ascertain their fate. If it is not too much to ask, I would have you aid us in the search. 5 scouts ventured into Sapsa all told. Here, take this flask of restorative to tend to those who may have been wounded. Though it pains me to even consider the notion, if they have perished, circumstances permitting, I ask that you recover their bodies. By no means venture too deep into enemy territory, however. We can ill afford to lose you at this juncture. So we're going to go find 5 soldiers. I don't remember if we have to find all 5 or not. Help somebody of all times to forget the restorative. I got it, buddy. Thank you, I owe you my life. We were ambushed by the Serpent Reavers. Lightly armed as we are, we didn't stand a chance. I was able to flee this far, but the others were captured. They were taken to the Serpent's Tongue. I'm certain of it. I can make my own way back to camp, but I fear the worst for my comrades. Save them, I beg you. Serpent Reavers camp. So yeah, this is the camp of the group that worships the Sahagin, which the Sahagin worship Leviathan. And it looks like they killed 2. I like how corpses turn into a little flower. Alright, so saved 1, 2 dead, 2 missing. You returned, thank the navigator. When I learned that you went to the Serpent's Tongue by yourself, I feared you would meet an untimely demise. But tell me, what became of the others? Dear gods, these wounds were not intended to kill, but to torture and maim. Does their savagery know no bounds? Enemies or no, they go too far. I dread to think what may have become of the 2 who remain unaccounted for. I pray that they haven't suffered the same evil fate. At the very least, one of my men came back alive, and for that I owe you my thanks. The price we paid was dear, but we have the intelligence we need. Even as we speak, the Admiral finalizes the details of the operation. The war horns will sound any moment now. Be ready to sally forth when they do. The Gift of Eternity. Thrice damned fishback bastards. I'll kill them slowly, then chase their rotten souls through all 7 hells. Peace, Commander. We are here for a purpose, and vengeance is not it. I want your mind on the task at hand, savvy? My apologies, Admiral. You may count on me to keep a clear head. Good. According to our sole surviving scout, the Sahagin and their thralls have already begun to amass at the Aetherite in the depths of Sapsa. If we are to act, it must be now. The men are ready. We but await your orders, Admiral. As predicted, the Sahagin have tightened security in and around the spawning grounds. A frontal assault is like to be met with fierce resistance. Ah, but we are not so artless as that, Commander. We shall divide our forces and strike them hard and fast at key locations. Remember, our ultimate objective is to take the Sapsa Aetheryte and eliminate the Sahagin priests presiding over the summoning. We are not here to kill them all. The Maelstrom shall engage and distract the Sahagin's legion of drowned pirates at the Serpent's Tongue. Commander, you have charge over this effort. Be mindful that the lay of the land there is devilish for attacking forces. Let the foreign levy spearhead the assault and have subsequent units fan out to cover their flanks. At the selfsame moment, a diversionary squadron formed of galleons from the Crimson Fleet shall harry the enemy from offshore. In likewise, we Scions shall form smaller units in hopes of confusing the Sahagin defensive effort. Hulk and Y'shtola, the two of you are to make your way to the site of the summoning ritual. The Admiral's diversion should serve to thin the enemy's defenses, rendering your path less perilous. A small party, I believe, should be able to win through without drawing unwarranted attention. Thancred and Yugiri, your mission is to lure as many Sahagin as possible out of the spawning grounds. Having done so, take to your heels and circle round to join the infiltration unit of Y'shtola and Hulk. When all has been set in motion, I myself shall cut a path to the Aetheryte, accompanied by Lady Minfilia, as was agreed. Well, don't let me keep you, friends, to battle. When last did we fight side by side, Hulk? Too long ago, I warrant, but come, let us away. Oh, let's see. The last time we actually fought side by side was, what, the Gubu from the very beginning, I think? Luckily, we can just fly over most of this. Man, before flying was implemented, you had to run through all this. Most of the time you got stopped or attacked. Counted. Of course there's a random fate going on. Oh, it looks like it just finished. Sweet. Oh. Almost there. Really? Pray, do not concern yourself, 'twas but a glancing blow. Come, the Aetheryte is close at hand, let us press on.
They have made thralls of soldiers and civilians both.
Did I miss much? So that is how you fight in the Far East. Mental note, pick no quarrel with Domans. But seriously, if I am to keep up, I must needs forsake elegance for efficiency. To the Aetheryte!
You'll forgive me my lateness.
I've been something of a liability of late, I know. 'Tis high time I set about making amends.
Long have you shriveled Swordwalkers, tormented our kind. But no more! Your time is at an end! You shall perish with salt in your wounds and sea in your lungs. Lord of the world, hearken to our plea. Lord of the world, deliver us from our misery.
Do you feel that?
I know this sensation. It's the echo.
What? Such power! It is transcendent!
Heavens fulfilled.
Damn it all!
My being ebbs away. It should by right be infinite. Am I not immortal? Curse you, emissary! You promised me everlasting.
Where did he go?
What say you? Nary a single ship? Hells take that sea demon! Gather the survivors and get to shore. Leave the wrecks for the pirates. Leviathan wastes no time. The diversionary squadron is lost. For a mercy, 'twould seem the Primal now makes for open sea. But why does he not press his advantage? Unless... God save us. He means to unleash a tidal wave.
Alright, so Leviathan has been summoned. Understand, I speak of no normal wall of water. That which Leviathan makes ready to conjure carries more destructive power than aught seen in nature. Enough to raise entire coastal settlements. If his last attempt is any guide, we cannot suffer history to be repeated, yet how in the seven hells are we to prevent it? Into the heart of the whirl. Though our plight cries out for action, we must take thought. So long as Leviathan remains in the open sea, he is effectively beyond our reach. Our fleet is second to none, of that you may be sure, but Limlayan herself would struggle to best the Lord of the Whirl in his element. In a straight fight, he would make meat and matchwood of us. We need another plan, that much is plain. Let us return to Limsa and see if we cannot think of one. I shall await you in the command room. So, fun fact, unless I've spoken of this before, I don't think I have, but Leviathan was actually supposed to be the first primal released after the story instead of the Mughals, but Japan in itself had a tidal wave hit them, so the developers thought that might be a little insensitive to release a primal that is going to create tidal waves. So the Mughals came out first instead of Leviathan. You're expected in the command room. Pray do not keep the Admiral waiting. Alright, Merlwib, what you got?
There used to be a hamlet beyond South Tidegate in western Lanosha. Hearthstone it was called. Some years prior to the Maelstrom's founding, Leviathan rose from the briny depths and set about unleashing watery hell upon us. On that occasion, the company of heroes put him down before he could do too much damage. But when the bastard came next, this time in the wake of the calamity, we were not so fortunate. Weary of ravaging our shoreline, he summoned a tidal wave which fair leveled Hearthstone and washed the soil away for good measure.
The area was subsequently occupied by the Sahagin.
Aye, the thrice-damned creatures transformed it into a spawning ground for their brood. Given the quantity of crystals stolen to feed him and his legion of thralls, we can be fairly sure that Leviathan is stronger now than in his previous incarnations. If that sea demon is left to wreak havoc, what befell Hearthstone may well befall a larger settlement, even Limsa. That cannot happen. The Primal must be stopped.
That was ever our objective, Admiral. But how are we to achieve it? The sea is Leviathan's uncontested domain. The ships of the 3rd Squadron could not close to within 100 yards of the Primal, nor could their cannons pierce his defenses.
I have read the reports, Master Thancred. Our warships may as well have been bloody pleasure barges for all the good they did. 7 hells! Is there no way that we might strike back?
The company of heroes defeated Leviathan, having first lured him into an inlet, but we must needs contend with him upon the open sea. It will avail us little to consult past experience.
Admiral, if I may.
Speak freely, Marshal.
By all accounts, Leviathan's most formidable weapon is the very sea itself. Waves and whirlpools, tides and currents, all these things are his to command. The key to victory, I believe, lies in disarming our foe. This, in effect, is what the company of heroes achieved with their ruse. We cannot lure Leviathan from the sea a second time. But what if we could weaken his hold upon the element of water? I have heard of devices capable of such wonders. They draw upon the power of corrupted crystals, I am told. If mounted upon a ship, such a device might be used to prevent Leviathan from bringing the full force of the sea to bear against us, rendering him no more dangerous than any other sea serpent.
Of course! Sid built a similar device to grant the Enterprise safe passage through Garuda's Tempest, did he not?
Begging your pardon, my lady, but to give credit where it's due, this is something I heard from an old arcanist friend of mine.
It makes little difference who thought of it first, so long as it works. Beg the specifications of this device from your friend, and I shall pass them on to our people at Naldic and Vermelis. But before we proceed any further, I would voice one concern. Piercing Garuda's defenses is one thing. Suppressing Leviathan's attacks, quite another. In matters of science, I am as a babbling babe, but I cannot well imagine that such a feat would be possible without a veritable mountain of corrupted crystals. The question being, do we have a ship big enough to bear such a burden?
Mayhap not, Admiral, but two might. Recall you the tale of Mistbeard's greatest haul? It is said that he lashed 2 ships together, side by side, the better to bear his plunder. By your leave, we might attempt to repeat the trick. The gods know it would be quicker than building a new vessel.
Mistbeard did this. Truly, Marshal, upon the subject of the Pirate King, you are as a scholar.
Now, from what I have gleaned of these matters, the device will need to be in close and constant proximity to the target. To wit, we must lash our twin vessel to Leviathan. This in itself will be no small feat. Ramming speed will be required, but given the weight of the cargo, That will only be attainable with the aid of a towing vessel. Suffice it to say, the task of piloting said vessel will entail considerable danger, and I would not ask it of another. I volunteer myself.
Will be dangerous for all involved, but we have no better recourse. Very well. Commodore, assemble the remnants of the fleet at Morabee Bay. Give priority to our soundest vessels. The repairs can wait. Storm Marshal Slafierson, command of the operation is yours. I want that twin vessel ready to sail post-haste.
At once, Admiral.
And then there is the small matter of slaying the beast. The fate of Limsa Lominsa rests upon your shoulders once again. Go well, warrior of light.
Oh man, I clicked on that without even thinking. Beings held as gods also exist in what you call the Far East. Legends tell us that they walked among us in days of yore, but I confess that I never truly believed them. That I should live to behold one is humbling and horrifying in equal measure. Now that I have come face to face with a primal, I do begin to understand why the Garleans fear them so. Well, you just barged in. What's up? What is it? A message, Admiral. I judged it best that it be delivered at once. I am listening. According to the Yellow Jackets, a man has appeared who claims to have defeated Leviathan. One of the company of heroes? The details are yet hazy, Admiral. We have dispatched one of our own to question the individual. I am disinclined to put any store by his claim, and even should it be true, it is as Justola said, none save the company of heroes have bested Leviathan, and we know how they went about it. If this man is of their number, what could he tell us what we do not know already? And yet, having wagered Limsa's survival on 2 ships, some rope, and a pile of crystals, can we afford to ignore this man? If his testimony could yield us any manner of advantage, should we not hear it? Damn it all, the twin vessel will soon be ready. We have no time to wait for the Maelstrom's report on this supposed Primal Slayer's claims. Hulk, seek him out and learn what he knows. At the very least, it will spare you the torment of waiting for the reckoning in idleness. The man you are looking for is believed to be a resident of the Grey Fleet in Lower Lenosha. The Storm Private sent to question him should already be in the vicinity. May your journey prove fruitful. So we're going to tie 2 ships together and take a corrupted crystal and go fight Leviathan. What am I doing? Yeah, best to just go to the crystal. Nope. Wrong button. Isn't this the same place that the guy said he beat up Titan. And we figured out it was false. Actually, yes, I think it is. Oh god, it is the guy. Alright, let's see what he has to say. Now look here, you'll have your bloody story right after you carry those sacks of grain over to the mill. But sir, that's what you said before you had me pick those oranges for you, and before I mucked out the chocobo stables, and before I rolled that millstone over to the mill, and also before... Gods, man, I've worked 3 days straight without a wink of sleep. 3 days, and do you hear me complaining? Well, I suppose some of you just ain't made for the rougher stuff. Alright, alright. I'll give you what you want. Never let it be said that old Tractum ain't a generous soul. Now prick up your ears, because I won't be repeating myself. Too modest, see? Besides, there's only so much epicness a man can take in one city, you keen? The tale of Tractum's epic victory over the dread primal Leviabetus. Now, Leviabetus is huge, make no mistake. To give you an idea how big, each of his scales is about as wide across as be members long, and that's no mean feat, let me tell you. When I fought him, I could barely see for all the brine he was pelting me with. Must have been a lagoon's worth at least. He even knocked me trusty axe out of me hands at one stage. Of course, that proved to be a grave mistake. What happened next? Why, I grabbed him by the tail and tied him up in knots, but not wanting to take all the glory for myself, I let me mates and the company of heroes handle the rest. Like I said, I'm modest as well as heroic, mayhap too modest. Now there's some as say you can never truly beat Leviabetus, that you've got to learn to live with him and make the best of a bad situation. Not the company, though. Ah, it's you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I was just enjoying the attention is all. I take back everything I said. I was never part of the company of heroes. I'm no marauder. I'm actually a complete coward. I'm nothing. I'm chocobo dung. No, I'm the maggots you find wriggling in chocobo dung. I have to lie to women to tumble them, and that don't happen much. Me member's tiny. It's pathetic. Okay. Wow. I sure as hell didn't fight Leviabetus, but I have seen him with me own eyes. 'Twas a fair few years back when I was working as a baker's hand. I was shirking me duties one day, loitering about the harbor when I saw it. A great big massive sea serpent, some moms off the coast with a fleet of galleons making straight for it. Cannons firing. I was so bloody scared I soiled myself right there and then. What? Oh gods, just remembering the day made me soil myself all over again. Hey, wait, if you're here asking after Leviabetus, it means you're planning to fight him, ain't you? Well, take care, he really is terrible. Dreadful, I'll tell you. If you're not careful, you'll end up in his gullet or at the bottom of the sea. Why, you worthless lying whoreson, I can't believe you made me handle chocobo dung. Hulk, this has been Philia. Were you able to learn aught of use against Leviathan? I beg your pardon, Leviabetus. I see, that is unfortunate. At any rate, I have tidings for you. The twin vessel is now complete. We await you at the Morrowby dry docks. Pray make your way here as soon as you are able. Oh, I was about to say, I knew we had the teleport to it. I'm told your jaunt to the Grey Fleet proved fruitless. My sympathies, lad. I'll wager it served to take your mind off the events of recent days, though. But enough of that nonsense. The moment of the truth is upon us. The twin vessel, the Whirl Eater, I call her, is complete, and she surpasses all my expectations. In addition to her prodigious tonnage, she has been fitted with a platform that you and yours might maneuver freely in battle. I would mention also that she is nigh unsinkable, but I'm not one to tempt fate. The Whirl Eater and her crew stand ready, my friend. Just give the word and we shall bear you to Leviathan. Alright, Lord of the Whirl. I know that look. You are ready. Having been constructed in some haste, the Whirl Eater may not be pretty, but I assure you she's capable. She has been fitted with what our friends at Naldic and Vimeles are calling an elemental converter. Assuming the thing works, it will use the power of the corrupted crystals on board to rob Leviathan of his hold over water. Depending on how the battle unfolds, you may well need to activate the device manually. Keep that in mind. Yeah, that's a clue on how to beat the upcoming battle. It is expected that the Sahagin and their thralls will attempt to come to Leviathan's defense. Accordingly, the Maelstrom will once again employ diversions. Thancred and Yerstola, I would have you assist in this effort. If it is to fulfill its purpose, your diversionary force must not want for numbers. By your leave, I too would volunteer my blade. We would welcome it. Having seen you fight in Sapsa, I dare say the Fishbacks will find your presence highly diverting. Thancred and Yerstola, if you would join the third levy, and Lady Yugiri the fifth. But what words have I for the man who has made a sport of slaying gods? Only these, go warily, for the sea is an unforgiving place to wage war. May the navigator guide you through the storm, warrior of light. I would echo the Admiral's sentiments and add a few words of my own. Know that we all have the utmost faith in you. May the crystal bless and keep you. Alright, World Eater open. So we're going to go off to fight Leviathan. World Eater. Yeah, since we don't have any more required side quests or anything, I will probably start cutting out these waiting times if they're longer than a couple minutes. And just cut back to when we go in. Otherwise, it's just going to be a lot of waiting around doing nothing. answer's no. It's only got 2 minutes left. Alright, well, here we go. Mavis Vermilion. It's a fairy tale reference. The anime fairy tale. Alright, here we go. See, some of these opening cutscenes, people don't like when other people watch them. You gotta fight the head and the tail at the same time. Yep, that was easy. And everybody left as quick as possible. People don't like that fight. I don't know why. That version of it is like, it's really not that hard. Especially if the tanks know what they're doing. Alright, Merle Webb, what you got? The Admiral awaits us.
We Lominsons are sworn to strive, till sea swallows all. And swallow all it would have, had Leviathan prevailed. That we still strive now, we owe in no small part to you. Not for the first time, you have delivered Limsa Lominsa from the wrath of a primal. Never has our nation known a stouter ally. On behalf of my people, I give you my humblest thanks. 'Tis meet that I give thanks to old Mistbeard, too, for his fine solution. Whatever else he may have been, 'tis clear he was a resourceful soul. Would that I had a man like him in my service.
Before I set foot in these lands, I had no inkling that the people of Eorzea contended with such mighty foes. Suffice it to say, their existence came as something of a shock, as did the idea that they could be defeated. This experience has served to remind me of the vastness of the world, and the boundless potential of man. Though I am but a refugee in this realm, I would fain be of use to you in your fight. Know that I am tutored in one of the foremost combat arts of the Far East. It may seem outlandish to the Eorzean eye, but should any of your people care to learn, I would be pleased to initiate them.
And I will see to it that they are grateful. I have no doubt that your knowledge and skills will serve us well. Besides, your art is not so outlandish as you think. Would you not agree, Master Thancred?
Naught escapes your searching eye, Admiral. Few are privy to this information, but Limsa Lominsa is home to a certain secret fraternity. Its members are trained in a form of combat not unlike your own. By my judgment, it should not be beyond such individuals to adapt to the techniques I witnessed you employing with such admirable deftness.
I am heartened to hear this. I too noted a kinship between your style and mine own, though it seemed to me that you fought differently in the beginning.
I suppose I did. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents.
Though you may labor to believe it, Thancred was once something of a scoundrel who fraternized with the criminal class in these parts.
Yestola! You jest, of course.
But for a chance encounter with Alphino's grandsire, he might never have left Limsa Lominsa, or received an education in Sharlayan, or taken up his post in Uldar, which is where he trained in the blade, lest you wonder.
Minfilia, please!
It would seem there is more to you than meets the eye, Master Thancred.
Lady Yugiri, I am told that you and yours came to Eorzea seeking permanent resettlement, and that many domins have since been engaged as frontier hands at Revenant's Toll. Morderna is many things, but a place of refuge it is not. Know that I would like nothing better than to furnish your people with a new home here on Lominsan soil. Alas, racked by instability as we are, our nation is in no fit state to take you in. Yet I'll not have it said that we turned a blind eye to your suffering. Until such time as we can do more, I pledge to send provisions.
We are in your debt, Admiral. I realize that it scarce qualifies as repayment, but if it please you, I shall set about sharing my martial knowledge with your people at once.
You wished a word in private.
The better not to spoil the festive mood. History repeats itself, Admiral. As the kobolds did before them, the Sahagin resorted to summoning their god over a territorial feud. They acted in self-preservation. It may be that the Sahagin initiated this particular clash, but how it begins does not interest me so much as how it ends.
I have not forgotten our conversation, Y'shtola. I am aware that man bears part of the blame for the Primal's existence. Nor am I ignorant of the Sahagin's reason for acting. They sought to secure a place to breed and multiply that their kind might survive. Self-preservation, as you say. But we have as much right to live and thrive as they. If our own survival is threatened, are we to lay down our arms and welcome oblivion? Nay.
And so you kill, that you might live. Yet if living is a right, then that right belongs to all peoples, be they men or beastmen.
I'll not deny your reasoning. But when a storm gathers, it falls to me to see my people safely through it. That is my duty, and I shall do it.
As must we all, Admiral. Stay the course then, but know that it will lead to no good end.
Man has ever put himself first and foremost. To justify his actions, he clads himself in the armor of righteousness, though it be a fancy of his own making. In this, mayhap the Garleans and we Domans are not so different.
Eorzea has become as a raging sea. If we are to keep our heads above the waves, we cannot scruple to drown the man next to us. When hopes of coexistence founder, strength must determine who has the greater right to live.
All right. When Yagiri met the fraternity. The Admiral has informed me of the arrangement. I have in my keeping a letter of introduction for Lady Yagiri. To the south stands a gate leading to a pier for smaller fishing vessels. Look for an inconspicuous Hyuran man there and present the letter to him. He serves as a gatekeeper of sorts. Now, before you go, I am obliged to remind you that the members of the fraternity to which you would be introduced abide in the shadows of Lominsan society. They value their independence more highly than pirates and are united by a bond stronger than mithril. To wit, they are invariably wary of new faces. Though it be penned by the Admiral herself, mere words on parchment will get you only so far into their confidence. You must work for every ounce of trust they place in you. But here's the letter. Go to the aforementioned place and show it to the aforementioned man. Oh, and good luck. Oh, this is, this is when they added Ninja to the game. Yeah, Fisherman's Guild. Yeah, this is, I forgot it was part of the MSQ, but we're opening up the, where am I going? This is not even the right place. Okay. That was not what I wanted to do. I forgot it was part of MSQ, but this is, opening up the Ninja Guild. Yeah. There, he's right. Oh no. Well, this is the Ninja Guild. Or the Rogue Guild, I should say. It's the Rogue Guild, and then Ninja is what you get at level 30. Got business with me, Venturer? So you're the man the Admiral sent word of. I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Thancred, too. Been a while since I saw his shite-eaten grin. But what with all the doe-eyed wenches about, I expect he's got his hands full. Oh yeah, Thancred, the ladies' man. Ah, and you must be the far easterner what Merlwyb says wants to train with us. Welcome to Limsa, my lady. I am Yagiri of Doma. 'Tis an honor to make your acquaintance. I must confess, when I learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions as to the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. You're not the first person to say that, lass. Limsa's a city of pirates, to be sure, and pirates don't give two farts about keeping a spotless reputation. They hardly need a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people and I keep to the shadows, but we've got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business that we remain unseen. And so you have developed fighting techniques suited to this purpose, I see. Know that the practitioners of my art, too, are denizens of shadow. 'Tis in stealth that our strength lies. There is much we might learn from one another, I think. Then what in the seven hells are we waiting for? If you'd come with us, you Gidry of Do-What's-It, we can get acquainted in more private surrounds. That didn't come out right, did it? Master Hulk, I shall remain with these people for a time that I might study their ways. Though I am loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge that they are in the best of hands. You have been a true friend to us Domans. No words would suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long, I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When that time comes, it would be my honor to welcome you as a student. Yeah, this is definitely the Rogue Ninja Guild. I forgot that it was actually part of MSQ, though. Through the Maelstrom. We do not need earrings. Much more has occurred since first I beheld Eorzea from the galleon's deck. Suffice it to say, I did not envisage being invited to play a part in your noble struggle. But forgive me, I have kept you over long. Doubtless you have pressing business of your own. Rest assured that I no longer require an escort in this land. When next you meet Lady Minfilia, pray relay to her my humblest thanks. Would that I could do so in person, but I must needs fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, Warrior of Light. Alright, so she's gonna stay here. No, not Dragonhead. She's gonna stay here and talk to them. And we're gonna go talk to Minfilia, apparently. Yeah, I was thinking, like, who do we have left? Thornmarsh, Ramu. I mean, Ramu's already summoned. We know that for a fact. Just, he's in the Sylph lands, and there's no reason for us to fight him. Yet.
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand. If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me. When the Sahagin Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we have come to know as the Echo. Though I cannot well explain the how of it, it would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, his spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove. Long have I known that the Echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul, but never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy. It was of this that Elidibus spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable. As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathan. And the import of this observation? If the Ascians' mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder. Could the legend in fact refer to the Echo? Much and more yet remains unknown, but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Ascians may at last be within sight. With Urianger's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long. Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend. Is Artemis?
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady. It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldessian.
What of them?
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, 'twas observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
12 preserve.
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
It is done, my lord. Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders... I am uncertain as to what end they serve.
Revolution.
Okay, so we finally see the dark side of the Syndicate. Not exactly sure what they're planning yet, but obviously they want to do something. Still earrings. The Great Divide. Our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. Oh yeah, an island just up and vanished. No, no, it avails us not to speculate. Urianger will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one closer to home. It concerns etheric fluctuations which we had previously attributed to good King Mughal XII. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well in the Twelves Wood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you. Asilia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What manner of problem? A band of refugees hailing from Ul'dah this time are come to Revenant's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present they are in the seventh heaven, awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Asilia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Look, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. Yeah, gave Domans a place to stay. Now the All-Amigans are going to want to come running from Ul'dah. The seventh heaven. Where is that? Is that... I know it's right here in Revenant's Toll. I just don't remember which building it is. Oh no, it's right here. It's the bar. Okay. Draggle-tailed refugee. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Minfilia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. 12 be praised, it is you. We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray, calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know not of your situation. Beg your pardon, Antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Ul'dah for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one what got took. They say there's work, but there's not for an honest man. Not as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms any road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the city didn't help us up. They climbed up on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was where. And then it came to me. Revenant's Toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Doman's petition for aid, that decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity, and so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. Well, we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us? If I might have a word. Tataru is Autumnus. Ill tidings from Ul'dah, my lady. Alphinaud has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the Flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently lashing out at any and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. Seven hells, now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Antecedent, please, if you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady? We are not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Alphinaud and quickly. If he is in danger or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Yida and Papalimo will see to it. Alphinaud is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Hulk. Okay, so back to Ul'dah. See what's wrong with Alphinaud. He better not have just, like, stubbed his toe. The Hourglass? I thought this was, the Quicksand, yeah. Why is it called the Hourglass? That's weird. I've always known this as the Quicksand.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well.
Of course, he stubbed his toe.
Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. that the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grant companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
I think that was the point, Alphanod. If I had to guess, I would assume that's what the revolution statement was about. Was to start this while the Immortal Flames are not here. Oh my god, do we need another ring? Yup, we do. Desperate times. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur given the rising tensions within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reasons to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me to the Hall of Flames. I would hear what General Raban has to say upon the matter. Actually, did Leviathan give us the poetics we need? Yep. We need to go get our chess piece. That should boost our stats enough to get through the rest of the patches without having to worry too much, because we have the axe. The chess piece is your biggest upgrade, and then pants, but we don't have enough to get both. Raban, what you got for me? Now is not a good time, Private Ridge. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Alphanod, back on your feet already. You may credit my swift recovery to your Chururigans. Healers. I don't know why they don't just say healers. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation. Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Thanalan. We have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine, given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the Uldan citizenry and the refugee population have increased since the Domans were turned away, but would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single gil to spend, who could not survive without the aid provided by the Immortal Flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well, my point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion. And now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it's done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. The General is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim without the necessary proof that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the monetarists would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries in the settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. He may balk at a request for such information, but I've no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I meanwhile shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? Yep, let's get started. You look as though you have something to say, Private Ridge, do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual, even one with ties to the flames, may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well, the Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the Blades posted there. Lost Hope is what? Blackbrush? Yeah. Oops. And what brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? Well, then you've come to the right place. Ah, you mean those refugees? Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like that merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. A friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take it this means someone has read my report. The refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I am increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Zazawaka. He will explain everything. That sounds like a Lalafell name. How'd I guess? Ah, don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. I beg your pardon, you're of the flames, but you're not with the flames? I see. If Leofric bid you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. 12 be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under the fanatic's spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. Ha, a childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent and you will understand why. Oh, I got hiccups. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt that the merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. So we're supposed to talk to a guy that's scared out of his mind. Terrified refugee. What are you doing? Don't draw, don't draw, don't draw, don't draw! Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you'd be here with me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Alright, no, I don't want to mark him. Obviously they want us to soothe. Calm him down. A little pat on the shoulder. Who are you? What do you want? Aye, it's true. I followed the merchant and may the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons and he had brought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited. He split us into two groups, sent us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting, and the flames were shouting to give no quarter. Oh gods, the other group, they're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. Yeah, I need that ring. Actually, I think that's the last ring. Okay, shock and awe. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox on all bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we had never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Though if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one man. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Alright, simple tasks. Just beat up 2 people. Yeah, they should be in this cave. Yep. Desperate refugee. 7 hells, they found us. Everyone, grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint you, lad, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. Where's the hell? Oh, there he is. Okay. I've literally beat up your entire group by myself. Well, by myself. Me and my chocobo beat up your entire group. Shield wrapping swordsman, saber rattling swordsman. These must be the twins. And they have a little bit more health than the other ones did. How about that? You beat him like it was nothing. Thaw almighty, what are we gonna do now? Don't fight the immortal flames or the brass blades. Yeah, the best way to describe it is the immortal flames is like the military and the brass blades is more like police. You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What are the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better that a handful of them take a beating from you than the lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Merchant? I didn't see the merchant, huh? But where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others. Money? I'm gonna assume we're gonna need that. The merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. Alright, Stone's Throw. Actually, I don't remember where Stone's Throw is. Oh, there it is. Wait, isn't that the, No. Never mind. Oh, it's the one outside the walls. That makes sense. Stone's Throw. The stone throw away from the gate. Have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Ul'dah. The man said they were going to change everything, make it so we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry, and I got scared. Say, mister, are you looking for someone? You. And a merchant. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... Wait, look, over there. I think that's him. Well now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? You. He's getting away. Go get him, mister. Yeah. He's not gonna get too far. You again. Why are you pursuing me? Sedition, treason, revolution? That's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorize the streets of Ul'dah? Ha! You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None. No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let us say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a Kakiran's arse about politics. It was business, only business. We both know I am not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I should tell you everything. Well, there goes that plan. What's all this commotion? 7 hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Alright, we obviously know this is Teleji Adeleji's plot. Hold, adventurer, I would know more about your relationship with the victim as well as the events leading up to his death. This man was responsible for the recent riots. Mayhap we owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it is obvious you are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. Man, being a Scion lets me get out of a lot of situations. Hall of Flames? Okay, so I guess we're going... Actually, it should be like right inside here. Yeah, it's not too far. I think this is what the samurai quest. I think that's the gold saucer. No, that's the samurai quest. I'm not sure what that guy is. What news, Private Ridge? Where's the merchant? He did. Yeah, murdered, for sure. Damn it all to the 7th hell. He was not simply murdered. Private, he was silenced. Too many knew his face, and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. Careful. We're still missing a bracelet. A pup no longer, a piece for Thanalan. I think that's the Amalja quest, yeah. Shadows uncast. Yeah, we gotta rank up to do that one. I'm not sure what that one is, I don't remember. Yeah, we don't need to... Revolution. The Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you returned. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Alphinaud has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray, proceed to the royal promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. Okay, I actually know who Bartholomew is. He is... he's the paladin. The paladin in charge on the royal promenade. Chamber of Rule, yep. This is the guy that actually gives you your paladin quests. We have been expecting you, sir. Please proceed inside.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji? But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless, bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Allagan ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean Alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Allagan monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Allagan inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon, one which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
I guess I didn't realize Omega was talked about so early on. Is this the bracelet we need? Yeah, I think it is, actually. Yep. Stories we tell. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. You are, of course, the Scion best suited to this task. Do take a moment to visit the Hall of Flames and make inquiries at the earliest available opportunity. Be gone, whelp. This is no place for children. Oh, somebody's getting yelled at. Oh, it's the girl from before. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, mister. You said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? Yeah, we met. She pointed me in the direction of the merchant. So he visited Stone's Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I am afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course, but first I must needs finish speaking with my friend. He's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by that pillar over there. We require but a moment. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Momodi will know what to do. A legion of Garleans, an aether-starved primal, even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Charade, however you want to say it. Sometimes I fear Menphilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Hulk, this is Menphilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. The situation in the Twelves Wood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. The Twelves Wood? Then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received no reports of Ixali activity, which leaves the Sylphs. Go, Hulk, you know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. I'm still curious where your sister's been this entire time. We haven't seen Alizé in hours of gameplay. And technically, at this point of game development, we're like a year and a half since we of game development since we last saw her. Rising Stones. Yeah, I'm actually shocked that Omega has talked about this early on. I do not remember that at all. It is a relief to see you healthy and hale, Hulk. The latest news from Odaw was most disturbing. Yeah, you got that right. Clearly, the only injury Alphinaud suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. Yeah, he's something else. Arrogant is the word I like to use. The other scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. Yep, that's the ring. Alright, Menphilia, what you got for me? Lord 11. We're gonna go talk to Connie Cinna. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business, then. I have received some disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the Primal Ramu. I'm sorry, may have, then it is not certain. The Elder Seedseer informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, antecedent, but the fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramu is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the Touched Ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, 'twould surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon, you foresaw this eventuality and did not to prevent it? I told Papalimo. I suppose I could have reported things to Menphilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramu once right after the calamity, but that was because the Garleans came tramping through the forest. And so long as Castrum Orion stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Yda and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain the observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Ul'dah drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion, and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the Kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for a primal's coming. Yeah, it sounds like man has done a lot of this to themselves. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Hulk, through your dealings with the Sylphs of Little Solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who has treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramu can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial. But mayhap this time we can. Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramu's presence. The Elder Seedseer has requested your personal involvement. Pray report to Commander Halloy at the Adder's Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. All Saints Wake seasonal event has begun. That's their Halloween event that they hold every year. So Ramu has been summoned. So we're gonna go talk to Halloy, Commander Halloy, and most likely Connie Cinna, and see what's going on. And then, as they said before, we'll probably end up in Little Solace to talk to the Sylphs. The flying ones. Hulk of the Scions, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal is ever cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The Elder Seedseer, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic, rather than martial skills may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Nafka's altar. The conjurer in attendance will admit you to the lotus stand. Yep. Instantly. Right away, go see Connie Senna. I wish I wouldn't use my sprint. Should be right through here, though. Silent Conjurer. You're talking, though. You're not very silent. Other Scions have arrived. Yep, let me in. Please tell me this is voiced. I love her voice actor.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the Sylphs, too, have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the Primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other Primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelveswood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelveswood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples. You have my thanks. Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelveswood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Almost wish they would have voiced that Sylph too. I think that would have been pretty cool. Alright, off to Little Solace to talk to, I guess, a Serpent Lieutenant. I assumed we would have been talking to Frixio. And we still might. Hulk of the Scions, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the... Avatar, yet treat with the primal Ramu himself. An unenviable task, but one for which I have no doubt you are well suited. I have been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak, that we might ascertain the location where the Lord of Levin might be found. I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. It's mind, intelligence. We don't need either one of those. Levin and impression. You'll notice a lot of these titles are like play on words. Whoa. Forgot that was auto. I was told that a messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow Scions finish their investigation. I do not imagine it will be much longer. This one returns, and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching and have wisely identified the precise location where the Touched Ones summoned Lord Ramu. Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good man to his fellow Scions? It would be this one's pleasure, Walking One. Please, please come with this one. Alright, a journey around the Sylthlands. Luckily, now we can fly over most of it. This place is a maze. Get in here and get lost real easily without a map. Not as bad as the Cobalt Mines, but... Wise ones have ventured deep, deep within the Sylthlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for touched ones. Assuming we're heading for the crystal. We're getting close. Looks like there's a fate on top of the crystal. Dang it. This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to the Lord Ramu, and this one may turn mean and nasty like touched ones. And so this one must say farewell for now. Walking One will find wise ones not far from here, to the south. Go in safety, Walking One. Yep, I think that fate is right on top of the crystal. Oh, went away. Okay. Nope, I went too far. There. Ah, come on. And you don't move. So, it's actually you. I am relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on your Stolas face when the one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough, Pepalimo. My apologies. It's not like me to ramble so. At any rate, as I was saying, I have finished measuring etheric activity in the area, and pleased to say I have reached an indisputable conclusion. To wit, that Ramu was called forth in the vicinity of the Sylph's Aetheryte. Come, Hulk, the Lord 11 awaits. Alright.
Nora betrays thee, servant of hiding. the Bringer of Light, Bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan. I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, Bringer of Light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Gridanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflict hath brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. For light and dark given form when man was born. It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges. That they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal, shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Urianger, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Alright, so Ramu just wants to really test us to make sure we are the champion that we say we are. So we're not really trying to kill Ramu, per se. Basically just survive his trial. Let's go ahead and queue up for that. Hopefully it won't take too long. It's getting pretty late though. Can't believe I popped. I was almost about to give up. So that guy got stunned by chaotic strike. I guess technically he got terrified, but you actually have to hit somebody with an AoE around you that has that to get them, knock them out. Otherwise they're stuck for like a minute, minute and a half. Need to collect. Easy win, easy win. I guess technically we do defeat him.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Assyrians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Alright, so we gotta go back and talk to Serpent Lieutenant. Oh, flying makes this so much easier. Hulk, you have returned. Dare I ask how Ramu received your visit? He challenged you to a test of arms. It is well then that you have some experience in such matters. The peoples of both Gridania and Little Solace will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the forest champion of peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day. The Elder Seedseer must be informed of your deeds at once. What little gods are made of. The Elder Seedseer will wish to hear of your experiences firsthand. Pray, return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The Conjurer at Nafka's altar will be expecting you. Fare you well. Alright, we'll go talk to the Elder Seedseer. And, I mean, there was a picture of Urgange on the quest, so we'll probably end up talking to him. And that is probably where we'll leave this episode. Oh. Crystal is going to be faster. Welcome back, honored Scion. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The Elder Seedseer awaits you within.
You are returned to us, dear friend. and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one. Yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramuh has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
So she alludes to there's another evil. Thus ends another daunting mission, Ahold. I'd hoped Lord Ramuh could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the Primal's sudden challenge. And it seems that Urianger too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Holt? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Let's go. Yeah, I almost gave up. I didn't think anybody was gonna queue for a trial at this time. But we got it done. Welcome back. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramuh precedes you. I would fain share news of mine own, but Urianger's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascian's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Urianger, The floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth the distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagan ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
The Lord of Levin has returned to the Aether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramuh's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whirl, and Levin all have now been humbled by the Bringer of Light. The limitless potential of man, Heidelin's servant, grows mightier by the day. Yet he prospers at great cost to his mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wan. Yet even as it innervates, the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted to forge the final key. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Divine seeds were ever wont to quicken in Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hand shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. Oh man, yeah, I think that's actually a great place to leave this episode. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I definitely noticed that now that we're into these patches, that there's a lot more voice acting, mainly because they didn't have a budget for the original game, so it was kind of rough on them. But now that we're in the patches, we're gonna have a lot more voice acting. Going into the next expansions, there's a lot more voice acting, so that's good. We got a little history lesson on how Aether works and what we're gonna do about the primals. So that'll be cool to come back to and see what's happening there. We got through 2 primals. We got through Leviathan and Ramu, so that was good. Anything else? No. I mean, I did buy this chess piece while we were waiting for Ramu to pop. Other than that, I think it was all in all pretty good. So, with that, I'll have to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.